The Haley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on bulls.co.za.
Keith is part of the organising team for Ironman 2013. And as you heard, chatting to Liesl, it's coming up this weekend. It's a huge, huge deal in many people's lives at the moment. It's the longest one day, it's the toughest one day endurance race out there. So let's chat to Steve and see if everything's in place for this year's event. Keith, it's Haley here on Bulls Radio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Keith. Thank you for giving us some of your time this morning to chat to us.
No problem at all.
How's
Thank you very much for...
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Keith, what is your role at Ironman?
I'm the managing director for Ironman here in South Africa.
Okay, managing director. Okay, and how's everything looking? What's the feeling there in PE?
The PE is absolute buzz at the moment. I think, we've got an amazing weekend ahead of us. The weather's looking absolutely fantastic.
After last year, I'm so happy to hear that. I was supporting last year and was frozen to the bone. Not worried about the athletes. I was suffering as a spectator.
I know, it was really, really sort of cold conditions. And, everything at this moment in time is looking great. There's hardly any wind. The skies are blue, the sun is out, and there's just this incredible buzz around the boardwalk area at Hobie Beach here in Port Elizabeth.
Wow!
We kick off this.
Carry on.
We kick off this afternoon with the obviously the Iron Girl race at about 4:00.
Okay.
Then in the evening we have a pasta evening for all the athletes coming in for the Ironman. Tomorrow morning, we've got a corporate challenge, Vodacom corporate challenge, which is completely sold out as well. And in the afternoon, we've got the Prit Iron Kids, 1,000 kids taking part. So, we've got and then obviously Sunday, we kick in with the Specsavers Ironman, the 9th edition, and we've got our record field.
Wow, so it's really an action-packed, it's a whole weekend. It's not just all about Sunday. And tell me, what's the ladies' race this afternoon? How long is that?
The ladies' race is 8.5 kilometers.
Okay.
It's a fun run. It's the biggest sort of Iron Girl race in the world now.
Sure.
Our numbers have close on doubled from last year.
Wow.
It's just absolutely incredible. I think it's really geared up for the ladies from within the city to just get out from behind their computers, to get out there, enjoy the beachfront and the amazing conditions that we have,
nice.
And to it's a sea of pink.
Ah, do they all wear pink shirts?
All pink.
Oh,
Iron Girl.
And tell me, the corporate challenge tomorrow, what's that all about?
Okay, the Vodacom Corporate Challenge is 10% of the distance of the Ironman.
Ah,
okay, so
now that sounds doable.
That's a doable one for most people, and it's a 3.8 kilometers, 380 meters swim.
Oh.
It's the 18K cycle and a 4.2 kilometer run. Now, you can do it as a team or as an individual. So each member, if you do it as a team, you can do one leg of it.
Okay.
And it's really geared up for the corporates and individuals that want to partake in this type of event from the city. So it creates a tremendous amount of fear and sort of atmosphere here in the city.
Sure. And Keith, I wanted to ask you, why do you choose PE? Why do you choose to hold it in PE?
Well, Ironman's now been sort of synonymous, really, in PE for the last 10 years now.
Oh, has it been going that long in South Africa?
Absolutely,
wow.
Yeah. It's in full distance Ironman, we're into the 9th full year. Next year will be our 10th anniversary for the Ironman.
Wow.
Which is obviously very, very special. And the backing that we've received from the host cities, Nelson Mandela Bay, our various sponsors, Specsavers and various other sponsors, have really, sort of embraced sort of why we host the show.
Okay, so you get all the support you need.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then Keith, obviously after the incidents that happened at the half Ironman this year, people always have safety at the top of their minds when a big race like this is going ahead. Are there any extra measures you've got in place, or is that just, obviously there are risks involved with any endurance sport?
I think the important thing is that one thing we as an event company we will never compromise on is athletes' safety or security.
Okay.
It's never been like that. We believe that the measures that we have in place are over and beyond what the international norm is.
Okay.
And we certainly we're a level 2 event, and in terms of the Event Acts, the planning for this starts 6 months ahead of time.
Sure.
And plans are put in place that are extremely sort of comprehensive, and any types of concerns relating to safety are addressed by specialists in each of those areas.
Okay. So all the measures are in place, but it is a race, and things can happen just through the numbers that are getting involved. Hey.
It's just unfortunately it's one of those things nobody can plan for tragedies and things like that. We do everything in our possible to try and avoid any of those type of things that happening. The medical team that we have here at Ironman, we have a full-on specialists and doctors and casualties from the top hospitals. We've got an actual tent right on the beachfront area, right behind the finish line, that will look after the best of all our athletes.
Sure. And I mean, I don't want to dampen the spirit, but Keith, I just wanted to ask you, because just in like my circle of friends in Joburg, there's been so much speculation as to what happened to those two guys, the two fatalities in half Ironman. Can you clear up for us what the story was behind those incidents?
Unfortunately, we're not at liberty to actually comment on that at this moment in time, because there's an official inquest that's in progress, and the whole thing is, because obviously in a natural death, everything will be sub judice. But I think everything will come out. All our preliminary plans and all our preliminary investigations. Everything was as we expected, in terms of the planning.
Okay.
We just have to wait to what the official report comes out.
Okay, sure. And Keith, I mean, I get butterflies. I've only witnessed one Ironman event, and I get butterflies just thinking about it. I don't know anyone competing this year, that's very close to me, but I still just get butterflies thinking of the event. What would you like to say to any of the athletes that are competing this year?
I think the big thing for any new athlete that's doing it for the first time is to actually enjoy the moment. I think it is an incredible experience. I don't think the race itself is about the sort of amateurs. It's not so much the professionals. Professionals make up 3 or 4% of the total field.
Okay.
But they get the amateurs and that get the same accolades as the winners that come down the sort of finish line. And I think that's the moment. The crowds of Nelson Mandela Bay are out there in force along the road, encouraging the athletes along the course to actually to finish. And I think for any person who's attempting it for the first time, that must be the first thing.
Just
is to
soak it all up.
Get to the finish line, to soak up the moment and enjoy it. It is something very, very special. And whether you come in 8.5 hours or 8 hours 15 minutes, or whether you come in just before midnight, you are an Ironman. And that's what makes it so special.
I promise you, I'm getting goosebumps just having witnessed it before. And then Keith, I just wanted to ask you as well, you said you've got a record number field this year.
Absolutely. What's actually incredible, and I think it's testimony to our race. Our race, and in these tough economic times, the race is just growing in magnitude year in, year out. And this year, total entries are into the Ironman, Specsavers Ironman is 1,783,
Wow.
of which that's 426 are internationals, and they're coming in from 50 different countries around the world to compete.
Sure.
So that sort of accounts to about 24% of our total field. And then, obviously, our biggest province is obviously Gauteng. Gauteng accounts for 46%
Really?
of our total entries that compete in the Ironman.
All these fitness
And,
bunnies here in Joburg.
Absolutely. It's amazing where they get the time to train for
To
it.
train,
But,
because we're supposed to be
yeah.
working hard in Joburg, aren't we? But Keith, what do you think the increase in interest in triathlons and the enthusiasm, and what do you think it's all due to? I mean, I'm sure there are a number of factors, but really the numbers are just increasing every single year.
Absolutely. I mean, we see it in all our events. I mean, year in, year out. Whether it's the small races like the Vodacom Corporate Triathlon Challenge, or even the new 5150 series that we've started, which is on the Olympic distance series. All these races are
Just getting
the numbers
bigger.
are just getting bigger and bigger.
And
yeah.
why is that?
I think South Africa are very much sports mad enthusiasts. I think we've got if we look at some of the big races that we have, like the Comrades and the Argus and Midmar, and various other races. It just shows you the sheer number of athletes that want to that compete in these events and have done for years. And I think it's a natural progression to move on to multidiscipline sport. Multidiscipline sport is a more rounded sport. You're obviously competing in swimming, cycling, and running, and I think it's just one of those natural progressions. And I think it's like that around the world. We're seeing the same sort of growth into triathlon.
Oh, really? So that's everywhere.
Absolutely.
It's interesting because, sure, you need a lot of time and a lot of dedication, when it comes to these things.
It's. I think people tend to look at when you doing an Ironman. I think people tend to overtrain before, for the event itself. I think just if you train and you have a schedule that you can work to, and a lot of times we've seen a lot of the top businessmen that have very busy working schedules and still are able to compete in the Ironman. I think it's just being able to putting in the correct amount of discipline. I don't think it's one of these events that, sort of 1 month or 2 months before the event you decide, okay, well, today I'm going to do the Ironman.
Yeah,
it's something you're going to plan. You spend 7 to 9 months in preparation and building up slowly with some sort of training schedule and working with the time that you've got to be able to achieve this milestone.
Making it work
for
Ironman. You. Wow, it's the early mornings that get to me. I've seen what time you have to wake up if you've got a 9 to 5. That's what gets me. But you're right. People do it, and I think people get swept up in the enthusiasm that other people have for the sport.
Absolutely. And the one thing, an incredible thing about Ironman, Ironman has taught me over the years, and I've been involved in this for 11, 12 years, and the one thing it's taught me is that anything is possible. That's the mantra of Ironman. And I've seen amazing things. I've seen people that have been disabled finishing the Ironman. I've seen people that are overweight, and I've seen people that are in their 80s finish the Ironman. And
wow,
it's just, you actually realize, whether you're an athlete or whether you're a volunteer or whether you're a spectator, when you watch the accomplishment of what these people achieve, then you actually understand the human spirit.
Sure. We were actually just chatting to Liesl van der Westhuizen now a few minutes before you, and she basically echoed exactly what you've just said, that it makes you believe that anything's possible. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, what a great mantra. Keith, wishing you all the best for the weekend. I hope the weather holds, and I hope you have an excellent event. And the fact that so many internationals come to PE for your event proves what a world-class event you do host down there. And, yeah, I just wish you all the best and have loads of fun.
Thank you very much, Haley, and thanks very much, listeners.
Thanks for chatting to us on Balls. Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye. Right, so that was Keith, who heads up Ironman South Africa. Big weekend ahead for him. And just if there's anyone listening who doesn't know exactly what Ironman entails a 3.8 kilometer swim, a 180 kilometer cycle, followed by a 42.2 kilometer marathon running race. So it is the height of endurance races. And yes, wishing everyone the best of luck that's competing this weekend. And to all the wives and girlfriends that have put up with their training hubbies and boyfriends, or the boyfriends that have put up with their wives that are competing, well done and enjoy the weekend.
The Haley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on bulls.co.za.